First, very quick. We heard one day that he was being let go from Dallas. Less than 24 hours later, he's in Los Angeles. What do you think about that? And how do you think it plays for Justin Herbert's future?
Well, let's talk about what had to happen first for that to be a possibility. Is that Mike McCarthy, the Cowboys head coach, decided not to retain Kellen Moore.
That's right.
And then said, I'm going to be calling the plays. Good luck with that. Okay. Let me just say one, and I'm not saying that 12 is right all the time, but why don't we ask Aaron Rodgers how it went when Mike McCarthy was calling the plays those last few years in Green Bay and how Aaron felt about that. This is Mike McCarthy, and we'll get to the Kellen Moore part of this. This is Mike McCarthy essentially saying, I'm betting all in on myself. And again, to that I say, good luck with that. Let me put it this way. If Mike McCarthy was not retained by the Dallas Cowboys, I don't think 24 hours later he would have another head coaching job.
That's a great point.
Kellen Moore was not retained in less than 24 hours. He had an offensive coaching coordinator's job. That, to me, is sort of the most telling part about this. So now let's get to your actual question, which was, what will this do for Justin Herbert? I think it will do great things for Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
I think that, obviously he's going to be stepping into the lion's den, as everyone has in the AFC West over the last couple of years, and changing. But I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I mean, my God, the Chargers, you have Herbert, you have two wide receivers, you have Eckler. Like, just put it together, man.
For God's sakes, please.
Just put it together. You have everything you need. Now let's just manage the game better, which is going to be way more on Brandon Staley than it is on whoever the offensive coordinator is.
Yeah, and what's, just on Kellen Moore for a second, and as you talk about the great things this could be for Justin Herbert, Dallas's problem, right, Trey, was not an offensive problem. Based on how I look at scoring behavior, they were the best behaved scoring offense in the NFL. The moment Dak Prescott returned from injury, they were averaging well over 1 point per minute of possession time. That was best in the league. That was better than the Brock Purdy 49ers.
Yeah.
And what goes into the decision to look at the guy coordinating that effort and say, he's the one that's got to go?
Because obviously Mike McCarthy felt like there was going to be a power struggle if he stayed there. Look, Mike McCarthy doesn't run the show. Jerry Jones runs the show. And, Kellen's getting a lot of shine. From a lot of places. And, it had been rumored that maybe, he would potentially be his successor in Dallas. So I just, you're right. It makes no sense. I mean, like, the problems for the Cowboys in the loss to the Niners was they lost Tony Pollard. They only rushed for 21 yards in the second half after he broke his ankle or broke his leg. And Dak threw terrible interceptions. Both in the red zone. I mean, that I don't know how they dialed up on one of the forced throws to CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, was their best player. So I understand why you want to feed him. T.Y. Hilton was wide open for a walk-in touchdown. On a 3rd and 5, just outside the red zone. So, unless you're saying and you believe that Kellen wasn't communicating well with Dak how he wanted things to run and what he's seeing. If you believe that's a problem, okay. But I mean, Dak, this year was such an outlier for Dak, right? Because not only did he lead the league in interceptions despite only playing 12 games, I think it was a 40% increase over his most interceptions in a season ever.
It was bad.
What we saw this year was the Cowboys offense struggled when Dak threw interceptions. And, I don't care who you are, and I don't care how tough you are. If you're Justin Herbert in the second game of the year, you have fractured rib cartilage, it's a 6 months recovery. It's going to bother you all year. If you break a bone in your throwing hand, it's going to affect you all year. Absolutely. I mean, so that's why he missed 5 games, because that happened in the season opener. So to me, I don't think Kellen Moore was the problem. unless you, as Mike McCarthy, think Kellen Moore was responsible for all the interceptions from Dak Prescott.
Right. And to your point, that's the reason why you go out and get a T.Y. Hilton, right? Because you know that everyone's going to be focused on CeeDee Lamb. Clearly the scheme worked because T.Y. Hilton's wide open for a touchdown.
Exactly.
Kellen's not throwing the passes anymore. It's Dak. So we'll see how that goes.